Here's your BMW. It runs fine, nothing's leaking, no warning lights. You're still destroying it. 8 habits that feel completely normal while you're doing them. No warnings, no weird sounds, just damage building quietly in the background. Let's get into it. Feature 1. Sport mode is not a lifestyle. Look at your drive mode right now. If it's in sport, that's the habit. Sport mode feels better. The throttle is sharper, shifts are tighter, and after about a week, it stops feeling like a special setting and just becomes how the car exists. That's exactly the problem. Sport mode was built for specific moments, not traffic, not the grocery run, not the 20-minute commute where nothing is actually happening. While it's active, the engine runs in higher RPM ranges. The transmission holds gears longer than it needs to. The car is working harder than the road is asking it to. Switch to comfort for daily driving. Sport for actual moments. Merging, overtaking, whatever you actually bought this car for. Everything else is just wearing it out faster for no reason. Feature 2. Start, stop, in, stop and go. The start-stop system has a job. Shut off at a long red light. Restart cleanly. Save fuel. Dense stop-and-go traffic is not that. In heavy traffic, the engine is restarting every few seconds, far more frequently than the system was designed to handle continuously. Each restart loads the battery, the starter, and every electrical component managing the cycle. Those cycles stack up faster than the system intended. You notice it small. Slightly delayed restarts, less smooth transitions. Inconsistent electrical behavior on short drives where the battery never fully recharges between stops. Heavy stop and go, disable it. Lighter traffic, longer stops, let it work. The feature isn't broken. The frequency is the problem. If this is already making you rethink something, hit subscribe. Feature 3. Cold start acceleration. Next time you start your BMW in the morning, listen. RPM sitting higher than normal. Engine slightly louder. That's the system stabilizing. And it's the most sensitive phase of the entire drive. When the engine is cold, oil hasn't fully circulated yet. Key moving parts are running with less lubrication than they're supposed to have. For just 1 minute. But that 1 minute, repeated every single morning, is when most of the accumulated wear actually happens. Let the RPM drop to its normal idle. Drive smoothly for the first few minutes. You're not waiting long. You're just not attacking an engine that hasn't gotten oil to everything that needs it yet. Feature 4. The foot that never fully lifts. Watch your right foot in slow traffic. If it's resting lightly on the brake pedal, not actively braking, just sitting there, that's not neutral. That's constant contact between the pads and the rotors, generating heat every second the car is moving. Brake components wear based on contact, not just force. A light foot resting through traffic does more cumulative damage than 2 or 3 proper stops. Brake dust builds up faster. Braking feels less sharp over time. In long traffic sessions, there's sometimes a faint smell. That's the braking system doing work it was never supposed to be doing. Lift it completely when you're not actively braking. Then brake with actual intention. Pads and rotors on a BMW are not cheap. This habit is exactly why some owners replace them far earlier than they should. Feature 5. The hot shutdown. You've arrived, you park, engine off. Makes sense. If that drive had any real performance in it, highway speed, quick acceleration, anything demanding, shutting off immediately traps heat exactly where it shouldn't be. While the engine is running, oil and coolant are circulating, actively carrying heat away from the turbo and everything that just worked hard. The second you shut it off, that circulation stops. The heat doesn't leave, it stays, concentrated inside the turbo bearings and components that just ran hot. That's called heat soak. And it's particularly brutal on turbocharged BMW engines. Let it idle for 60 seconds after any demanding drive. That's the entire fix. Let the circulation do what it was designed to do before you cut it off. Before we get into the feature 6, if you didn't subscribe, please subscribe. That helps the channel so much and making me want to push more content. Let's get into it. Feature 6. Your key is talking. You're paying for it. Your BMW is locked. You're inside. Everything is off. Not really. BMW's keyless system is always listening for the key signal. If your key is near the front door, on your nightstand, anywhere close to the car and the key are in constant communication, all night. The system stays partially active. The key battery drains faster than it should. Over time, unexpected unlocks, inconsistent startup behavior, and a battery that weakens well before it has any reason to. The fix: keep the key far from the car. Different room, different floor if possible. When the signal stops, the drain stops. That's all it takes. Feature 7. Letting the car drive itself. Adaptive cruise, lane assist, collision warning. active blind spot monitoring. BMW spent a significant amount of engineering hours building these systems, and they genuinely work. That's actually what makes this habit dangerous, because when something works well enough, you stop noticing how much you're leaning on it. Every drive, you set the cruise a little earlier. You check the mirrors a little less. You stop making the small steering adjustments you used to make automatically because the lane assist already made them for you. None of this feels like a problem. The car is handling it. That's the point. Here's what's actually happening. Your reaction time is changing. Not dramatically. Gradually, you stop anticipating gaps in traffic because the collision system has been handling the gap. You stop feeling the car drift because the lane assist corrects before you register it. Your input becomes passive without you ever making a conscious decision to let that happen. And then the system disengages. Road markings disappear, sensor gets confused, weather interferes, and suddenly the car is fully yours again. That half second where you feel slightly behind the situation, that's not a glitch. That's the cost of the habit showing up in real time. These systems were designed to assist your driving, not to replace the part of your brain that's supposed to be doing it. Stay actively engaged, steering, spacing, braking decisions, even when the assists are on. Use them as a safety net, not a substitute. The car doesn't get tired behind the wheel. You still have to actually be there. You're still here. That already puts you ahead of most drivers with twice your mileage. Subscribe. Feature 8. The paddles aren't always the answer. The paddle shifters exist. They're right there. They feel incredible to use. That's not the problem. The problem is using them during completely normal driving, steady cruising, light acceleration, sitting in traffic, and overriding a transmission that was already making the right decision without you. BMW's adaptive transmission isn't just reacting, it's calculating in real time. Speed, load, throttle input, road conditions, and selecting the most efficient gear for exactly what's happening. When you override that without a real reason, you're holding gears longer than necessary, pushing RPM higher than the situation calls for, putting load on the drivetrain that has nowhere productive to go. The transmission starts to feel less smooth between gears. Engine tone gets more aggressive than the road deserves. That refined, balanced feel BMW is known for quietly disappears. Manual mode is for descents, overtakes, specific situations where you actually need to hold a gear, not for making a regular commute sound more interesting. Let the transmission do what it was engineered to do. It's genuinely better at this than you are. 8 habits. None of them feel wrong while you're doing them. That's the entire reason they're on this list. The BMW owners rolling past 200,000 miles without drama aren't lucky. They're not babying the car. They're just using it correctly, including the parts that are supposed to be features. And speaking of using things correctly, if you haven't watched the video where we broke down the 5 BMW parts you should never buy cheap, go do that after this. One bad purchasing decision on any of those 5 parts turns a $40 fix into a $3,000 repair. Drop the habit you're most guilty of in the comments. We read every single one, and if there's another BMW topic you want us to break down, tell us down there too. That's literally how we pick what comes next. Also, quick question for the comments. Would you want a full breakdown of every BMW part you should be replacing every 3 months? Filters, fluids, the stuff most people forget exists until something expensive reminds them. Let us know and we'll build it. Subscribe. New video every 2 days. Peace out.